Okay, question I got. Should the back of the left hand be flat at the top of the swing? Now you notice with an open hand here, it's easy for me to keep it extended and allow the wrist to hinge on this anatomical snuff box, this little cavity here above my thumb. Now, if I grip the club, I'd have to make a fist. So you notice how the back of my hand, all right, kind of cups a little bit. So at the top of the swing, if I hinge on that wrist, it'll be slightly cupped. If I try to keep it flat, then I'm extremely limited with my hinge, and this is not anatomically correct. This is. So when you bring the other hand over, let me get my club here. So when I'm grasping the club, I want to make sure that I'm holding the grip just underneath the heel pad. See, when I open up my club or my hand, now I'm using the fingers to apply pressure of this handle underneath the heel pad of the hand. If I apply it through the heel pad, then I have a big gap right here. See where I can insert my finger? And that's going to have a tendency to rub at the top of my swing when I'm trying to hinge. So for all of you who have a wear spot on your glove, that means this grip is moving in there. So you want to make sure that it's very securely placed underneath that heel pad, so when I hinge up and down, nothing moves. Can you see that? All right. So I should be able to see 2 to 3 knuckles on my left hand right here when I'm hinging up and down. You notice how my thumb is coming in from a 1 o'clock position back to noon? I don't want the thumb on the side. I don't want it over here. So at the top of the swing, I've got nice support when I'm hinging up and down. And you notice how my thumb isn't buckling. Now when I bring the other hand over, I'm placing the thumb and the grip together as a unit right in the lifeline of my right hand. Notice how that index separates from the other fingers and hooks on right there. I'll just bring this thumb alongside. There you go. And you notice how airtight that is. So the club can't fall in this gap at the top of my backswing. I don't want to hold it like this where the club can easily rub inside here. So if you get calluses on the inside of your thumb or on the inside of your index, that's the reason why. And on the follow through, when you look at my video on the arm motion, it's important that your hands be allowed to rotate over. If you resist that rotation, then this grip again will rub along that heel pad. So you'll either lose that heel pad on the backswing or on the follow through. So you notice right now my club face is nice and square, and when I hinge up and down, the club face is staying nice and square. Okay? And you notice how the back of both hands form a nice box, parallel box. So if both wrists hinge properly without one buckling, see if I buckle that left, then the right can't hinge on that snuff box. Both need to hinge together on those anatomical snuff boxes. So I hope that was helpful to you, and if you have any questions, let me know. One final note on grip pressure, okay? Now, you've heard a lot of things about holding it like a bird or a tube of toothpaste, and you don't want tension in the hands, all that stuff. Well, I would have probably squished the poor guts out of Tweety, so forget the bird. Let me explain. If you're playing tennis, one power forehand from one back court to the next, if you're a tennis player, you know that sucker's going to be pretty firm. If you're hammering a nail into a nice 2x4 one shot, you got to apply some pressure to the nail. If you're a boxer, you're punching a punching bag, you got to have some pressure in that punch. We need pressure to compress that golf ball. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, you want that grip pressure to be at about a 4 or 5 to start. But your central nervous system, which is the most precise system in the entire universe, as far as we know, will take care of your grip pressure according to your intent. So if your intent is a little chip shot on a fast green downhill, I guarantee you that grip pressure is going to be feathery light. Whereas you got a shot coming out of thick rough and you want to blast that shot out of there, well, you'll notice that your grip pressure is going to severely intensify. It's supposed to. So let me show you a couple of swings here with a super, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the strongest that I can grip it. I'm going to grip it at a 12, where the blood is rushing out of my hands. You tell me if you see any tension in this golf swing. With both hands, by the way. Now the blood's coming back into my hands. Okay? So you'll notice that had nothing to do with tension in my swing. My forearms are on fire. No tension in my swing. So the tension comes from you being out of balance. Remember the first lesson? Oh, if I lean back, tension. Tension in the legs, tension in the lower back, tension in the calves and in the tibia muscles. There's tension for you. So as soon as you compromise your balance, you've got tension galore. That's where tension comes from. And if you've got tension in your swing, you're trying to swing the club and you're falling off balance, it'll be like swimming in a thick bowl of soup, like a bowl of molasses. So, secure grip that matches your intent. So if my intent's a firm 7-iron, well, I'm starting at about a 4 or 5, and through impact, that jumped up to about an 8.5, 9. Whereas, if I got a little 7-iron, 2 extra clubs, I'm into the wind and I want to keep it low into the wind, I want to keep it nice and soft, I want to deaden the impact to take the spin off the ball. That was a 4 or 5 through impact. So let your grip pressure match your intent. Now for those of you who are not sure about the size of grip to use, I've seen all shapes and sizes of hands throughout the years. And there's some theories out there that if you've got a big grip, you'll have a tendency to hit it to the right and a small grip to the left. It's all hogwash. Don't listen to that, okay? That's old theory. What you're looking for is which grip size can you squeeze the hardest. So if you need that extra grip pressure in the rough and you need to power through the rough, you want to be able to clamp down on that grip. Or you can soften it anytime you want. The direction of the golf ball has to do with you being in balance and you swinging through the golf ball. If you're a hooker and people say, well, you got too much right hand or your grips are too small, please stop. You need to be in balance, check the balance, and make sure you are swinging through the golf ball and not at it. That's what creates a straight shot. Next, find a grip size that you can squeeze the hardest. Take a small grip, squeeze it. Take a slightly bigger grip, a standard men's grip, squeeze that, and then see which one you can squeeze the hardest. If you've got very large hands, chances are you'll need a larger grip. But I've seen some very large hands like mine where I'm down now to only 3 wraps of tape. And if you look at the club fitter's chart, it says that I need an oversized or a jumbo grip, which is, I can't even hold that. I can't grasp it properly. This is the grip size that I can just squeeze the juice out of. So that's what you want to look at when you're looking for grip size. So I hope that was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions, please.